We're going to get right to the roots of what Christmas means for us.
Absolutely.
What Christmas meant for me before prison, while I was in prison.
Absolutely.
What Christmas means for me now.
And for others as well, I think also.
Sometimes you're in prison, you know, I've been on a wing for 1.5 years at a time, and some of these people that you're living with all that time, you're training in the gym, you're eating with them, they become family. So Christmas comes along, and you want to recreate that family feeling.
I think we try, you know. Do you wanna?
Yeah.
A lot of sniff as well.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like I was wild shocked, and I don't know why I was wild shocked. Like as if I'm not aware, but there was loads, and people got high.
Yeah. Oh, proper. And can't forget hooch.
Oh yeah,
there was a lot of hooch being brewed.
Hooch. Can you tell us how they make? Can you tell us how they make hooch? I don't know.
So because we always work on the I principle, don't we?
Okay.
How did I make hooch?
Did ya? No.
All right. I'm gonna tell you a little Christmas story then.
So you can make hooch.
I'm gonna tell you a little Christmas.
It's like don't put I know that I have been offered to have a hooch, and I think the camaraderie that you get from seeing people all pissed up, you know what I'm saying to you, and it doesn't kick off, you know what I mean? You know, it don't kick off, which is obviously like weird in the sense of like, you know, everybody thinks these are hardened criminals and
violent,
and all that. You know, that's the picture you get.
Fight.
That's the picture you get, but actually, no, they're not. They're all in their own cells.
Do you know what happens?
Go on.
This is how I feel, or what I saw. We self-regulate.
The Ribcage Podcast. The Ribcage Podcast. You're now in tune to the Ribcage Podcast.
Yes, Stuart. Wagwan Hawks.
Merry Christmas, brother.
Merry Christmas
Merry
to you
Christmas.
too, my G, man. Doing a Christmas special today. Talking about our experiences in prison over Christmas. You know, the before, the in there, and the after. Also, you know, this is Ribcage Podcast, where we're going to be speaking our truth, isn't it, you know?
Authentic.
Being
showing the man that we are, the men that we are, bare bones.
Bare bones, right through our heart.
We're going to sort of, no, we're not going to sort of, we're going to get right to the roots of what Christmas means for us.
Absolutely.
What Christmas meant for me before prison, while I was in prison.
Absolutely.
What Christmas means for me now.
And for others as well, I think also.
Yeah.
I think that's why we wanted to sort of touch upon this, because as much as maybe I'm not sure about you, might be having a great time at Christmas, there's some people who do not have people to care about them, you know, to show love for them on this time.
I'm living that at the moment. You know, I'm staying in a homeless hostel, and there's 20 people there, and not every single one of them. I'm guessing out of the 20, there's 15 of them there that have nothing, no one, got nowhere to go.
Wow.
And I've seen the impact that loneliness and that loss of a life and a proper Christmas day, how it affects. You know, it's traumatized people, and trauma comes out this time of year.
I can't imagine it. But before we go into that,
nitty gritty,
how you can nitty gritty stuff, let's talk about the fun times that I know my time in Christmas. Let's talk about the fun times that we've had in there, if you want to go there.
Let's do that.
I mean, we could talk about the outside here, but outside here was nice for me. You know what I'm saying to you? But in there for me, Christmas, right? Christmas. First thing I realized was you probably get your card late.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
A couple of weeks late.
You know what I'm saying? You get your cards late, yeah?
They get sent on time. They just sit somewhere in prison.
Absolutely. Like, they don't care about that, do they?
No,
you know
not
what I
at
mean?
all. Not at all.
Get your cards late, yeah. You're not getting no Christmas present. But one thing I will say though, that sometimes within certain lads, there's a good camaraderie.
Listen. Let's talk about the good times. And talk about the bad times, but let's talk about the good times. You got to think, when you're in prison, you're a community. You create friends, you create families. Sometimes you're in prison. You know, I've been on a wing for a year and a half at the time, and some of these people that you're living with all that time, you're training in the gym, you're eating with them, they become family. So Christmas comes along, and you want to recreate that family feeling.
I think we try, you know.
Yeah,
did we have a Christmas tree up? Did we?
Nah.
No, did we?
I think decorations might be pushing it a little bit too much. They might have a bit of tinsel here and there. Maybe they've got a Christmas tree up somewhere, but I never saw one on the wing.
No, I don't think we did neither.
Nah.
Don't think we did.
But what I found is a lot of the times the build up to Christmas, it's sort of like canteen. Once a week you get a canteen. So the canteen the week before Christmas, everyone's buying the chocolate, the stuff to make cakes.
Roses,
with.
You get the little deals as well, don't you?
All these 2 for 1 and all that. Everyone's going full on.
Yeah.
But a lot of people, they make an effort to come together and cook and eat. And I've had some great. Don't get me wrong. Prison is a horrible place, and it's not the place you want to have.
I'm glad you said that,
but you
don't want to send the wrong image. But these are also facts as well. Like,
Yeah, fact,
you know, you got to live with what you've got. You've been dealt with.
Prison is not an easy place to be, but you make the best of a bad situation.
Yeah, well said.
And when you and your prison friends, your brothers, your family, your community come together, you want to create something special.
Absolutely.
But the environment you're in, that can sometimes be negative actions for trying to get positive results. So let's say, for example, there might be a lot of drugs around the wing that time of year.
Yeah, I remember. I mean, look, I remember, but I was shocked. I mean, like, I'm now trying to be clean, yeah? And I am clean, actually. And the amount of people that come up to me and said, yo, do you wanna... a lot of sniff as well, you know what I mean? Like, I was wild shocked, and I don't know why I was wild shocked, like as if I'm not aware, but there was loads. And people got high.
Yeah. Oh, proper. And we can't forget hooch.
Oh yeah,
there's a lot of hooch being brewed.
Hooch. Can you tell us how they make hooch? I don't know,
So because we always work on the I principle, don't we?
Okay.
How did I make hooch?
Right. Did ya? Can ya? No.
Alright. I'm gonna tell you a little Christmas story then.
So you can make hooch?
I'm gonna tell you a little Christmas
story. This is like don't put this on the camera. Can you make hooch?
Yeah, but I didn't like. But so generally, hooch is made out of some sort of fruit or fruit juice, sugar, and some sort of yeast agent. Whether that may be off the skin of the fruit or off bread, or whether you're lucky enough to get some yeast out of the kitchen that they make the bread with.
What about the orange thing then? Well,
the oranges, this is what most people do. They'll get a load of oranges, squeeze them up, put them in a tub, top it up with orange juice, a kilo of sugar. So we're talking, you know.
That tub, come on,
a big tub,
yeah.
Oh, what's that, 20 litres or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Kilo of sugar, some yeast reacting agent, you put it into where that's a little bit of bread, then you leave it on the heat for a week. Every day you've got to unscrew it to let the gases out, otherwise it explodes. After a week, maybe 2, but generally a week if most people can't wait. It's got to some sort of level of of it's going to do the job and people drink it. But for me, it's sickly and horrible. So let's speak about I
have never drank a hoochie. I have never. How do you think I want to go? My belly getting pumped up? No chance.
I've got some whole stories about that. So what happens is when you drink the all of the hooch, what you'll have at the bottom is a load of. It's like
God.
It's just like the bottom of the dregs of a barrel, but what that is the kicker for the next one, because it's got all the yeast and the oxidation. You just top it up, and you keep on going weaker. So this kicker keeps on growing, but the trouble is with the kicker is it can actually become quite harmful bacteria. I knew a guy. He went into prison. He was probably 12 stone. He'd been in there. He had a long sentence. 2 years later, I saw him. He must have been 22 stone, and he had a bag coming out of his. Out of his stomach, and I said,
stoma?
I don't know what it's basically what had happened was he drank the kicker, got in his stomach, the bacteria started growing, basically fucked his stomach up, and he has to shit through a.
Yeah, I think it's
sorry,
a stoma.
excuse me.
I think it's called a stoma.
Yeah, so it's bad stuff. But I didn't like the orange stuff. I used to make cider.
Wow.
So I used to use apples and apple juice, but it would take me 6 weeks to make.
Okay.
But it'd be as good as, it'd be good cider. You know, it tastes like cider. It wouldn't taste like shit.
Okay.
So I'm talking Christmas 2019. It's the 19th of December.
That's when I got out.
Oh, was it?
In my other sentence.
Wow.
Yeah.
I was in Featherstone prison, 19th December, my birthday. I'd spent 6 weeks brewing this stuff up for Christmas, New Year, gallons of it, gallons and gallons.
Yeah.
Went to the gym, came back from the gym, it's 7:30. I thought, do you know what?
Featherstone.
I got some some tobacco,
Yeah.
a little bit of weed, treat myself,
Wow.
nice cider.
Wow.
Do you know what I mean? I was looking forward to a nice,
Come on,
nice,
Christmas time,
it's my
mate.
birthday,
Yeah,
you know?
come on. Oh yes, yeah.
Door closes, take the fucking wet gym kit off, I'm stood there, naked.
Yeah.
Pour my first drink, I go like that, door comes open, Orca was spinning you. I'm like that, caught red-handed, in my hand, start bollard naked. This is my birthday. They spun my pad, found all sorts of stuff. I wasn't very good at that time. I ended up going on basic. So I had, for Christmas, New Year, birthday, Christmas, New Year, I had no TV, no association. So I was stuck in a room. I had my window had 4 panes in it. One of the panes was missing, and it was snowing that time of year. So I used to wake up with snow on the table, on the floor. The heating wasn't working. It was honestly.
Was that bad?
Oh, it was rough. It was rough.
Oh, not bad.
So, but the reason how I got caught was somebody put a little note under the door because I've given a few lads a drink one day and.
Saying what? Give me some.
I've been brewing. No, put the note into the SO's door.
Oh, see.
So that's how it happened.
Yeah.
But you know, you make the most of Christmas at in that time of year in prison, whatever you can do.
I know that I have been offered to have a hooch, and I think the camaraderie that you get from seeing people all pissed up, you know what I'm saying to you, and it doesn't kick off, you know what I mean? It don't kick off, which is obviously like weird in the sense of like, everybody thinks these are hardened criminals and
violent,
and all that. That's the picture you get.
They're gonna fight.
That's the picture you get, but actually, no, they're not. They're all in their own cells.
Do you know what happens?
Go on.
This is how I feel, or what I saw. We self-regulate.
What's that mean?
You've got all of the men on the wing. Everyone's having a drink, but everyone's regulating every other's behaviour. They get out of hand. You're gonna call them.
No one wants to match up the show.
Exactly. If someone's getting lucky, if someone's being a little bit too blatant on the wing doing something, and they're going to ruin the party, get in the cell.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
That's right. I've seen a lot of that.
Yeah. But I've got a great story from Christmas Day. This is one of, like prison's a horrible place, but this memory will stay with me for the rest of my life as a happy memory.
Go on.
And it was, I think it must have been 2017. I was in HMP Yule, Christmas Day.
Wow.
And it was, and we had some Russians on the wing. And the Russians, what they did, they distilled the hooch into vodka.
Wow.
Which was
solid.
Yeah, and I'll tell you how it's done. So I know the people will be interested. Just quickly.
I'm not sure whether people should know how it's done, but
I think I'm going to be authentic about it because people want to know these things about prison Christmas Day. Because this process will be going on months before Christmas Day to get enough.
Let's go. Let me hear this.
You have a prison kettle.
Or everyone, make sure you got your pen and paper out.
If you want to experience prison booze at its worst.
Come on.
Every cell has a kettle, but the kettle is basically a hot plate. So you smash the rest of the kettle off, and you're left with the hot plate, which is the element, and the cable. You get yourself a big bucket, as big as you can find, and you fill it full of hooch, and then you drop that element,
The hooch is the one that's already made for gel hooch, yeah.
Gel hooch, just normal gel hooch.
Yeah, gel hooch, yeah.
It's probably 8 to 10% alcohol or something like that.
Okay, yeah.
So you drop the element in, and you start heating it up. But what you have is you have a bag over there, and from this bag you have a piece which you make sure that all of the condensation drips out and it drips into a bottle. What drips out is the pure alcohol. Now you can do that process a number of times to get it stronger and stronger. But I don't know how the Russians did it, but they made their distilled hooch taste like peach schnapps. So there's us Christmas Day, woken up in the morning, I've been on that wing for a year and a half, or maybe a year by then. Friend comes to my next door neighbour comes to my cell. Lovely cup of coffee, spliff for me. We sat there smoking. We go out onto the wing. We thought, fuck it, we're smoking. Excuse the language. On the wing, smoking on the balcony. Wow. We turn around and realise everybody's doing it. Right, everybody's starting the party off, and the officers don't seem to be too bothered. They're just looking away. They're not. Do you know what I'm saying? Anyway, the next thing I know, there's this Irish chap that's on the wing, IPP prisoner. Feel really sorry for him. It's been a long time. Got addicted to drugs in prison because of his long prison sentence. Really sad. But the guy, amazing guitarist, and he used to sing Oasis songs all the time. Anyway, there's all us, probably about 20 of us, but the whole wing's there, 100 odd people, 120 people. And there's 20 of us sat in chairs, drinking this distilled hooch, smoking weed. All of a sudden, this Irish guy, and I wish I could remember his name, gets the guitar out. There's 3 landings. Everybody's out, all the officers, Christmas Day, everybody's buzzing, you know. And he starts singing, "Slip inside the eye of your mind."
Okay.
And everybody stops. Everybody comes to the balcony. All the officers, all of the people. We're all there, like stood just behind him, drinking and smoking, and like we're in a pub. It's like crazy. And you have the whole wing, every single person, officer, prisoner, whoever was there, nurses, everything, all singing Champagne Supernova at the top of their voices.
That's the song.
Champagne Supernova, I'm sure, yeah. And I was like, and I was in this moment thinking, I can't believe I'm seeing this. Yeah. It was like such a magical moment.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
But it's like, it just like, that was a good Christmas day. We was only out for probably 4 or 5 hours for the whole day, but we made the most of it.
Making the most of it, that's also the painful side of it as well. You're banged up from 5 o'clock. I mean, I can remember when I know I never went through this, but when there was no TVs, my gosh, you're getting banged up at 5.
I know.
You know what I mean? Like, it must have been terrible. And you got no phones.
I know. To call your loved ones.
You know what I'm saying? To call your loved ones as well, mate. Like, I think they've done the right thing trying to put phones in. You know what I mean? Because your kid's not hearing. You say Merry Christmas to them must be difficult for both parties, and I'm on about the prisoner and you know what I mean, you know, because I think also that we went to that place that man said that Swinford Hall to talk to the students, and the man said that one thing that he vouches for, that he understands that, you know, prisoners do what they do, but the families should not be they also are doing time too.
Of course they are.
Yeah.
I person from
can you relate to that?
Well, from my point of view, when I went to prison, I wasn't very well. Let's be honest, that's why I was in prison. But I didn't really take into consideration the effect that it had on the people around me, and I don't think I cared. I was in that victim mode, sort of like self-serving. But after going through it and spending time, I realised the impact that it has on those around you, because I don't have those people around me anymore. You know, so you family ties and family connections, and keeping those is so important, but also probably one of the most difficult things to do while you're in prison.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's all fun and games, us having a laugh, smoking weed, you know, the people smoking weed and that, but like deep down we're missing our loved ones, ain't we?
Or the only reason that we're doing it for is to
not to think about it. You know what I'm saying?
Mask the pain.
You know, that's a light bulb moment. It's true. That's right.
It's really, it used to make me laugh as well, because obviously the drugs have got to come from somewhere, haven't they? And the contraband that comes into prison.
I'm not saying it's coming from the prison officers. I don't know what he's saying.
Well, you know, we can only sort of like.
What are you trying to say?
All I'm saying is, I know intricately how the prison works.
Come on, man.
The drugs are getting in with the officers, and the orders get put in weeks or months before to make sure that there's enough there. And so obviously you can only bring.
Well, you need evidence. Let's try and be evidence facts based here.
Okay, from this.
Are you trying to put me on trial? Don't put me on trial, bro. Read facts, evidence. You can't state all prison officers.
No, not all. Oh, God, no. There's, I think, 99% of the officers are doing the job for,
I thought you were going to say.
for the right reason.
Okay.
But you always have that 1%. Which do not. Maybe it's more than 1%. I'm just being generous there. I'm going to be honest. But let's just say it only takes that 1% to destroy the growth of men in prison by bringing drugs in. And I'm not going to mention. I'm well aware of officers that have brought drugs into prison recently and previously, and I'm well aware it's probably still going on now. But you're never going to stop it.
Where? What
jail?
Wow.
I'm well aware of it.
Because you had that job where you were inside and outside.
The thing is, it doesn't take a lot to know what's going on once you've been in prison a little while. You know what's going on, and if it's another life that you get used to, and you get to see these things. But it's without it. This is prison culture. This is what happens. Without it, you wouldn't have a Christmas that you'd want.
Yeah, it's Mazda. It's Mazda, as you say that, because. Like on that wing, I don't think I was on there 7 months actually, yeah? So I didn't know about any drugs going on.
Oh, God.
Yeah, listen,
yeah.
I was on a different path.
I know you were.
I was on
I'm well aware of that.
Yeah, and I'm so grateful. 7, 8 months clean, you know what I'm saying to you? And long may it continue in Jesus' name. But I just found it how interesting when that time comes. Everybody was on it. I was shocked.
Yeah, not just drugs that come in, prescription drugs as well. So pregabalin, Cibotex.
Yeah.
Any sort of obviously spice is massive.
It wasn't that big in there though.
No, I think to be quite honest, when it comes to spice,
it was maybe 4 years ago. Spice was
it's not
5, 6
It's not
years
as
ago.
bad as it was. But the day that I left prison, I left on the 6th. I think I got out on the 6th of August, but on the 4th, which was the Friday.
What's this one for now?
What's that?
When you got out?
This sentence this year. On the 4th of August, I knew one of the officers had brought a load of spice in.
Damn.
And within 2 hours, there was 4 code blues, and 4 guys had the
defibrillators. Oh yes.
And I'm sat there, and I'd already had a word with this officer about it, saying I didn't like what he was doing, and I'd lost my job over it. So, and I'm thinking,
I know who you're on about.
I'm angry.
I know who you're on about.
I'm angry with this guy.
I know who you're on about.
I know you do. I'm angry with this guy, and I'm thinking, what do I? And I'm
trying to put it on.
I'm in my pad like that.
You trying to?
He's hurting the lads.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, but I've only got 2 days till I get out. What am I achieving from confronting this? But I know that it's still going on now, which hurts me.
Is he still there?
Well, I guess he must be. Yeah. I've had, there's no way for me to know that.
Yeah, true. Because I think he come to me and said, "Oh, damn, man, I might get in trouble, man, but I didn't do nothing." Whatever he was trying to tell me, you get me, all I was trying to do was just help the certain 2 boys who the things got caught, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, so I know exactly now what you're talking about.
But it's prison, you got to understand a lot of these lads in here, they're traumatised, very vulnerable.
Yeah. Shouldn't bring it. Not from you. Set an example, bro.
Yeah.
Set an example. Mm-hmm. I mean, I wanted to sort of touch on something that came to me when you read something in our group chat yesterday, and I hope you don't mind. Yeah, So, what was Christmas for you before you got banged up?
Honestly, most of my life, my Christmas hasn't been hasn't been that good because I haven't really had that. I've had family, but we haven't had. Do you know when I was 14 years old, I had a girlfriend, and I went round to her house for Christmas Day one day, and I realised what Christmases were.
Wow.
Does that make sense? And I was like, this is really good. This is.
Wow.
I like this, but I can't really say. I enjoyed my Christmases as a child.
And in your space, is that what you mean?
Yeah,
in your space,
in my family. But then, let's move on a few years and have my daughter. That was the most amazing Christmas of my life. When you have children in your life and you're doing it for your children, it brings it alive. You know.
Were you a person who got them everything, even though they can't afford it?
I just
there's people like that. I've seen it. So.
I've got to be honest. I'm more about. In my head, it was all about educating her. Do you know what I used to do with my
Back
daughter?
Back then?
Like my daughter, a year old, I used to collect artwork, and my whole house was covered with paintings. And I used to go around with her in my arm and talk about the paintings.
Oh, amazing.
And so when we went out, and she's only like a year, 12 months old, 13 months old, we used to go out and we used to walk past paintings. She used to go, Daddy, and point at the paintings. And I'd stop there and I'd start talking to her. And this is what I wanted to give to my children, not the material things.
Yeah.
But that,
I love that. And I love that because I was the opposite. Not that I couldn't afford it, but I got them everything. It's nice to hear, you trying to do that way. I'm trying to do it that way now.
Yeah.
But
it's like you want to give your children everything, don't you? Let's be honest, especially at Christmas.
But you don't have to be materialistic stuff.
Can't do that in prison.
Come on. So after you're now chilling out there with your daughter, you then come to prison. What was that like?
So from that Christmas, I was in prison within 3 months. Life broken down, so and then I've basically spent since then I think 7 Christmases in prison.
When I heard that, I was like, what? So let's get this right then. Was that you coming out, getting back in, coming out and then getting back in, and you always used to miss Christmas?
I think I've been out for one Christmas, I think, but it was that short space of time, and because I wasn't well enough, it was like I was in prison anyway. What you've got to understand is when I got released from prison, whether that was on a conditional release date or whatever it was.
Tag?
I've never had tag before.
Wow.
Until now. Well, I've got one on now. But where was I with this? Conditional. When you get out, I don't know how I was going with it.
Okay, so what I asked you was, now, your daughter, was it your daughter?
Oh yeah, so 4 months I'm in prison, spend 7 years pretty much at Christmas. My Christmases, all I'm thinking about is that beautiful one Christmas I've had, and I'm torturing myself. This is the reality. This is the God's honest truth. Never enjoyed my time in prison to a point where you think, I'm always torturing myself,
In prison?
In prison, yeah, always torturing myself
on Christmas.
Yeah, because I'm thinking my daughter's 2, she's 3, she's 4, she's 5, and I've got a son as well.
Ooh, that's
5, 6, 7, and I'm missing all of these Christmas days, and I'm wondering. And while I'm wondering, I'm sat in a cell looking at a wall above me.
Calls? Any calls?
No, I didn't get. I've never had really much of much support while I've been in prison. So Christmas Day, I think at first I'd try, but after when you can tell on the phone when people don't really want to speak to you, so you sort of you distance yourself. That's what I did. I isolated myself and distancing myself from those outside and making the world that I was living my world.
So you can deal
better with. So I can deal with living, breathing, breathing.
Jeez,
hard.
So like after you then go over after the Christmas, like how do you feel afterwards? Then are you able to sort of like?
It's like a relief. Like even at the moment, I have my birthday, Christmas. I have New Year's, and I have my son's birthday, New Year's Day. So I
was thinking, why is it such a big impact? And I want to say something to you, Stu. That's what I wanted to sort of understand, because I get to see, you know what I mean, my family, or even speak to them. My family has never been that type of. My woman has never been that type of woman to sort of say, yo, you speak to them. You get me? So I find it hard to relate to completely. I know, I really do. I kind of get it.
I'm glad that you haven't had to go through that experience.
I appreciate
and because there's a lot of men, I know George at the moment, who joins us on the podcast.
Oh, yeah, correct. Yeah,
he's in exactly the same situation. Doesn't see his child, and this time of the year is really difficult. And we do speak a lot. And there's a few of us, and we speak to each other to give support and to help each other get through this hard time, because it is just one bang, 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 hard hitting every day. Then 2nd of January comes and I'm like, I've got through it again for a year. Now I've just got to get through the next 11 months.
So you said that your daughter's New Year's Eve as well?
My son's birthday is Christmas, New Year's Day.
So you're getting a double whammy type of thing. You miss that, you don't get the phone call, and then you miss the birthday, I feel you, G.
No photographs,
I feel
no.
you, G.
Want to send presents? I've got presents stacked up for them, which I can't send to them. And I'm thinking one day I'll give them, but by then they won't want them because they're not age related and all that. But I still do what I can do. Do you know what I mean? And hope that they know that I love them at Christmas. And it goes out to a lot of children, I think. And there's fathers. There's so many fathers in prison. I mean, you know, you think it might be a small percentage, but there's probably 60 to 80%. I'll be honest. I think the actual percentages is 54 to 72%, depending on which prison it is. But these are men that are in prison that don't have access to the children, don't have that support, and a lot of the self-harm that's going on, and a lot of the torture. It's to do with non-contact with children.
You know, sometimes I feel like as if, right, yeah, okay, we got ourselves, they got themselves there. I say we because I was a ex-prisoner myself, and like, you know, like, do you not think you got yourself in there, like, you know what I mean, like, and especially if it's to do with, like, say, the missus. Do you think the missus should try not to separate the issue that, okay, me and you don't like each other, me and you don't get on, but let me speak to my kids, or even for the kids' sake?
Do you know, I think a lot of the time, obviously, relationships break down, communication breaks down, trust breaks down, and these things break down. This does happen, obviously, within relationships, and that's why fathers don't get to see their children. But for me, and from what I've experienced being trained as a Samaritan in prison, being a listener and speaking to lads that I've been mentoring over the years, a lot of the issue actually comes down to social services and the issues that they put in place. That what they put in place is risk management and steps, and say, well, because you've been to prison, you've never been dangerous to children, but because you've been into prison and because your relationships broke down with your ex-partner, we don't believe that we can let you see your kids. So what we need to do is we need to do a section 47, which is like fact finding, then a section 7 which directs that fact finding to say what sort of contact you could have. But as that process could take nine months to a year, and after that 9 months of the year, they might want you to do something else. Before you know it, years have passed and you haven't seen your children, you've lost contact. And all of that time, it's been social services and the police and all of these people that work with domestic abuse or, you know, children's within a domestic relationship. They create fear, they create boundaries, and before you know it, the other part, there can't be any communication because social services says you can't. And it's a sad state of affairs, but I hear it time and time again.
I don't think people who are going to be listening to this are going to care about it because we're offenders, prisoners.
100%.
You should have thought about it before we did the crime. So I'm then going to go to the people who are out here because, okay then, forget us.
Yeah.
But I also know of some people who are not in prison, but they have no one to talk to, you know, missus. Like, you do not have to be in prison for that missus okay, no social services involved.
Yeah.
She's just, nope, cutting you off.
Yeah.
You can't talk to them, you're not speaking to them. And even maybe some men don't even want to talk to her at all, you know what I'm saying to you? And then they wonder why they're alone by themselves. But, you know, what do you think about that? I don't know if there's a question there, but you know, I can't, when it comes to relationships and to understand those types of relationships and why women do these things, I'm never going to have an answer for, because I've literally banged my head against a prison cell wall for years and years. I'm not going to get there. I'm not going to understand it. What I do understand is a lot of people out there that don't have a lot. And all I know is, as individuals, what we can do is just try and make their lives better. People have done that for me, you know, and it's helped me through. So that's what we can do for those people. You know what's coming to me now? Quickly is what you just said there. It was, I went to KFC the other day and there was a girl sitting outside there. And I was very reluctant to help. But someone was saying, they'll just give her some money, you know what I'm saying to you. And I spoke to her. spoke to her first to see what she's about.
Mm-hmm.
And my intention is, you're not getting the money. I'm gonna buy some food. So I said, "You're hungry?" So yeah, I'm okay then. So then I thought, let me proceed. I was gonna think about a podcast. You know what I mean? Yeah. I said, let me proceed. I says, why aren't you in the house? You know, why are you sleeping on the street? And she said, you know, whether it's true or not, because I have a dog, you know, they're not gonna let me have a house. And I just thought to myself, honestly, are you putting yourself in this position? I know I'm being silly. Are like, you know, could they try harder so that they're not alone? One, so that they're not alone, so that they're with loved ones. You know what I mean, and enjoy Christmas. You know, it's about love, isn't it? You know what I mean, Christmas and presents. You know what I'm saying to you?
But maybe, or let me ask you this question.
Yeah.
Do you think that person that you spoke to has ever experienced that love?
That's a great question.
Because I think a lot of the time, when you see somebody that's like that and you ask a question, could you do more? Don't you want to be with loved ones? A lot of the time they're there because they've got to the end of what they can do and they haven't got the strength to do anymore. You know, they've been let down so much that they've given in. The trauma has been so impactful on their lives that, you know, maybe the one thing that she has got is the dog, and she doesn't want to let go of the dog because that's what she's letting go of, and she prefers to be on the streets without the dog.
I'm very surprised that the housing office are saying to them that they're not going to put you in a house.
I can give you I'm living in a homeless hostel. If you want me to explain exactly what the situation that homeless people are, and
you can't have a dog. Yeah.
So every council has a duty of care for you if you're from that area.
Yeah.
So and to get a house, you have to go on a waiting list. Now, depending on what band you are, depending on how much you need a house, depends on how long you've got to wait for one. I'm in a homeless hostel. A guy's just left yesterday. It's been 9 months that he's been there, and he's just got a flat, I should say. There was a girl that left 2 weeks ago. She was in the homeless hostel for 2 years. There's a guy that I speak regularly to who's an alcoholic. He's homeless. He got kicked out of the hostel 2 months ago for being too drunk. He's been living in the car park for the last 4 months. He's been down the council with the bags, saying, I need somewhere to live. They just won't help him. There isn't anything for him. People seem to think, I think that, you know, if you're homeless, there's going to be somebody there to help you. It is so hard to get somewhere to stay if you have got nothing.
And I assumed that she wasn't trying hard enough, so that was not good. You know what I mean?
It's the
correct, isn't it? But she's trying, but she's getting. There's policies that. There's politics even in just that scenario.
Yeah, they have a framework and a structure that they stick to, and if you sit outside of that, they will not help you. So a lot of people get lost in the system, you know. But what a lot of these people really need is sort of like trauma-based help, you know, trauma-based services to help them, and then that would give them the basis to be able to get a home, because a lot of these people, even if you gave them a home, they're not in a place to be able to get one. I know many homeless person at the moment that doesn't want a house because they physically can't. They psychologically can't cope with it.
What? So tell me, explain.
They've been living on the streets for a long time. They're used to it. They're drinking. If they had a house, they wouldn't be using it. It'd be a trap house or something. They've got no interest in it. They prefer being outside. They prefer the lifestyle that they've got. That they prefer trying to escape their trauma rather than to build a life without trauma.
I thought maybe the person enjoys begging, or maybe enjoys being alone. You know what I'm saying to you? You know, I find it hard. You know that when you're in that position, that you wouldn't just get off your ass and go and speak to whoever your loved ones and I'm sorry, whatever I did wrong and whatever, and please, I want to, you know, I'm a changed person. When you got drugs and all that type of stuff, and
some people
ego.
Some people don't care. That's the thing. Some people don't have that person to go to.
Yeah,
In the hospital.
You think so? I think they do, but they've just damaged it, man. I think.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I think they've just it's a damaged relationship.
One of the
not
two.
willing to go back. Yeah, as well. Thank you.
Or can't go back.
Yeah,
you know?
or can't go. Yeah.
Out of the 20 or so people that are living in the homeless hospital that I'm in at the moment, and I sit down and I'm sort of like quite. You can understand the
Dr. Hawks.
Well, yeah, but at the same time, I'm trying to understand myself and the world at the same time, and all of the people that are in there, all of them, they've either been in prison, they've been sectioned in a hospital, had some sort of psychiatric help. The majority of them are on some sort of prescription drug, and the rest are either crack addicts, heroin addicts, or alcoholics. There isn't anybody in there that does not need help, you know. And it's all trauma-based stuff. Everything that they're going through comes from trauma of some description at some point.
I think that's what it is, and I think the social economics of these people who are trying to rehabilitate prisoners, they don't really see that. They don't really see that they need help. Like they don't really see that they need help. That they're even like that they're lonely. Like I could not. Like I really tried to resist that girl. I really did. She don't need no. Don't give her that.
So what happened then? What happened in the end?
So I gave her so I bought some KFC for her, man. But I would not, because I used to be a hustler. So I'm not gonna give you £10 for you to go buy a .1 or whatever it is. You know what I'm saying, Chad?
Yeah.
But I also wanted to sort of understand, are you enjoying? You know, she's on by herself. I've seen her with another person before, but she said that person had gone away, so probably whatever he had to do. And then I just thought, why would you not, like, on her own, and it was cold, why would you not make the effort to go to the housing? I know now why, but to go to the housing and tell them and that, you know, I need a place to live, and, you know, start rekindling, past relationships or whoever, so you're not here by yourself.
Do you know what I do when I'm in a similar situation? I'll ask them why you're on the street, you know?
Yeah.
I will ask them why they're on the street, watching jeans fit this thing. But the reality is, what I want to do is to be given the opportunity in that conversation to lay a seed in, so they start thinking about it. Because I'm not going to be able to fix them. I'm not going to be able to save them. I'm not going to be able to do that. I'm going to feel sorry for them. I'm going to walk away feeling sorry for them, hoping that they're warm and they've got a full belly in that. But I'm not going to save them. But what I generally do is I'll plant a little seed. I'll say something. I'll give them a little idea and I'll leave it. And then if I see them again, I'll go and I'll see if that seed has germinated.
Have you seen any of that working?
Only when drugs and alcohol aren't involved, unfortunately. Because unfortunately, when drugs and alcohol are involved, that always comes first, and it sort of eats away at those good intentions. So the ones that I'm working with, a guy at the moment, he's the guy that has been sleeping in the car park for the last 4 months or 3 months, and I've been working with him a lot, and we've just been like working on, okay, you don't want to drink, but you're putting yourself under pressure.
Christmas time as well. Sorry, this is Christmas time, and there's people sleeping in car parks. Look.
I know.
Wow.
There's a lot of them, and this homeless.
Sorry to talk.
This homeless hospital in the moment. There's 20. I think there's 22 of us. I think there's 22 beds. They do 4 emergency beds while it's cold at the moment. So this is from probably now until February or March.
Okay.
Emergency beds.
What are those?
They're like pull-out beds with a mattress that the homeless can come and sleep on, but they're
that night if somebody says I need a place. They've got 4 beds that if somebody is.
I think you can stay in it for 2 nights in a row, then somebody else has got to come on it.
If you come that night,
you have to put your name on a list.
Oh wow!
So you might get it for 2 nights 1 week, and you might get it 2. You know, this really hurts me because there's a lot of space there. There's a lot of space.
I love you, man.
Where the beds have been put, there's 4 beds. You know, you could fit
Another.
15. in there,
Wow.
you know?
Wow.
And I'm thinking, you have people that are literally curled up outside the door, freezing cold. It's a homeless hospital, they won't let them in.
Yeah.
And it hurts me. And there's, you know, there's so much I could say about this hostel that I'm staying in, which I find really uncomfortable. But I don't want to be throwing crap around or anything.
I don't want to be kicked out.
And I don't want to be kicked
You know
out.
what I'm saying,
Exactly.
G? Come on, man.
But
Can't handle the truth.
I find it hard, so I'll always want to do my honourable best.
Yeah,
you know, that's what life's about, and I think we both know that. It's not what our pure intentions, and I feel like this organisation isn't doing that honourable best, and that sort of hurts me on a daily basis. This time of year.
And I love the fact, because also there was a moment of just exactly who you are, man. You know, you put your whole self into it. Where there was a couple of lads at what we do, ABOB visited, and it was affecting me as well. Affecting me, you know, one of the lads about, you know, he might be on his own. He's going to be on his own for Christmas. I did not even think about you, Stewie. You know, and then there was another one. Somebody else mentioned another name, and then I thought of the other lad that you're mentoring. I was like, wow. But I only thought of one. I was thinking, okay, then should I bring him here? Should I take some food to him? You know, it was just juggling in my head. And I think then the other day I heard George mention something about, you're involved. And I was like, wow, you know what I mean? You know, I thought fair play to you for taking it on. I'm not going to talk about the pressure or anything like that, but I just want to talk about, like, what a, you know, because you're not here to fix, but what an impeccable thing for you to do, to sort of say, I realize that, yes, some people are having fun at this time, but some people don't have fun at this time too, and I want to bring them together.
I know what loneliness is at Christmas. I've felt it for a long time. And the young men that I work with, they've got an opportunity in their lives moving forward not to have that at Christmas time. Does that, you know, this is a time where they're doing this work to make themselves a better person, and through that work, they're growing their relationships, they're growing their network around them, and through doing that, what they will have eventually at some point is a well-rounded life where they won't be lonely at Christmas.
I think you couldn't have said that any better.
This Christmas, they don't have that. They've got nowhere to go, and I haven't either. And it was brought up, and I was shocked. You know, I was asked to lead on. I felt it hurt me because I know these lads, and they're good lads. You know, they're good lads, and they everybody needs to belong. It's so important to belong to something.
You say this about community and all this.
Belonging is so important. If you don't belong, you're on your own. If you're on your own, you don't know who you are. If you don't know who you are, you're not going to grow. You're going to wander around and go in circles. You have to belong to something, and it's so important to me. And the way that I feel is like this Christmas, I can at the same time help my loneliness, make me feel like I'm having a Christmas, and I can help someone else. So, you know,
community, like you said,
community. It's what it's all about. Looking after those around us. Looking after.
These boys are young. I don't know if there's an age thing in it. You know, these boys that you're having together for Christmas Day.
The one under 24.
Damn.
Yeah.
I was wild shocked. I was like, what? I mean, at 20 something, yo. Even though I was a rude boy, still, yeah. I still float home. I still went to my yard. You know what I'm saying, Chad? You wasn't on the rest.
Yeah.
But I went home. I had a girlfriend. So I went home actually. I think even in my antics and all them type of things, I was still able to float home. But when I see the age of what you
sad,
just said,
isn't it? It's sad.
You know what I mean? And these guys are not even homeless boys.
No, they're not.
They're not homeless. You know what I mean? Like what?
But they would be sat at home by themselves.
Yes. Yeah. Well said.
This is the thing. So like this is George, and I'm not going to. You know, you've been involved in this as well. You know, you found us a place where we can eat because we was really struggling. And George has gone like so above and beyond to be able to. I don't want to disclose what we're doing, but we're doing some nice things for the lads on Christmas Day.
It's very honourable.
And honourable. But I will wake up the next day feeling happy. If I didn't do that, I'd wake up the next day feeling sad because I haven't been with my children. But I can give that love, and I can give that guidance, and I can give that support to those that need it on Christmas Day that don't have it from anywhere else.
Yeah. It's a shame that, but okay then, there are some, let's be frank, there are some places that do meals for homeless people.
Yeah.
It's a shame. Maybe John is our cameraman. Maybe we can put some places actually, John, of places where people can go and eat for the homeless. I don't know if we can put it in. I think that's a nice shot, G.
We will put it in the description.
Yeah, I think
description or at the end or whatever it is. You know what I'm saying to you? At the end of the this thing.
Yeah, cool. If you're interested in seeing that, just check the description underneath the video, and we'll put the things in there.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah, I just want. Let's just say, because we've been like talking to each other, but it is about like you can't be lonely at Christmas.
Yeah.
You can't. If you're at this point now and you're watching this and you're thinking, oh, I'm going to be by myself.
Yeah, I feel you, man.
Pick up the phone to that one person that might be able to help you out, and if there isn't, there's plenty of people out there. There's plenty of charities and plenty of organisations that really do want to help, and they can like benefit your life in a massive way long term. So I'm hoping that maybe this one podcast will help one person, find somebody on Christmas Day maybe.
I love that, because also what I'm going to even touch on is the mental health part, the embarrassment, the self-sabotaging, the
shame.
The shame, a great word, that you're telling yourself, this is a mental battle. You don't want people to see you in a place thinking you're begging. Nah, I think, you've got to really get out of that mode, because it just wants you to be lonely.
I think loneliness and depression, though, they go hand in hand. So Christmas time, you think, I've got nowhere to go, nobody loves me.
You know what I'm saying?
Nobody cares. Nobody cares.
What I'm saying?
I'm not worth nothing.
You know what I'm saying? All those negative
I've got
thoughts.
nothing to give.
Yeah.
If nobody's inviting me around, nobody's calling me up, then
Yeah.
I can't call them because they don't want me.
Yeah.
That's loneliness and depression are best friends of each other, aren't they?
Completely.
And
It's funny.
they like to hang out at Christmas.
100%. They party hard at Christmas.
It's funny.
Is what they do.
It's funny you say that, because I was also the type of person who would invite myself round. Yeah, because I remember when I used to live by myself, man. And some people wouldn't do that. I'd call, yo, what you doing? You know what I mean? Yeah, and I'll go there, because if I didn't, I'd have been by myself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying to you? So I think people, and because you said call, that's what you just made me remember. Yeah, I did. I was that person.
Yeah.
I didn't care, but
because I've learned to be so
Cool.
open about my situation and not feeling any shame about it, because I'm confident who I am. I've had people call me up and say, and we've been chatting, whether that might be on a professional basis or social basis, and I've been chatting away, and I'm always open and honest about who I am and what I am and the situation that I'm in. And I've had three separate offers from people to go around their house at Christmas dinner, and I hardly know these people. They're acquaintances. One of them's a friend, two of them are acquaintances. Mm-hmm. And the reason that I got invited round and that I had other options is because I was open and honest about my situation.
I think so.
That's the only reason. If it hadn't been, then people wouldn't have known.
Because how am I going to invite somebody who I don't know shit about? Sorry, God. You know what I mean? Like, and that opens that. You see, that opened doorways as well. So I think to the young men, I know that after Christmas is only one day, but trying to be more open about your situation, rekindling. Listen, I still haven't rekindled some traumas that I have caused. You know what I'm saying to you?
Yeah.
I still ain't rekindled. So can I say that to somebody else? Yes, I can. Yes, I can, because I know that eventually I'm going to rekindle. And if it's not even maybe rekindle, but have that conversation.
It's learning to be
Gotta have that conversation.
vulnerable enough to reach out.
Yes.
If you can reach
Regardless
out,
of what they say,
regardless of what,
yes,
you may have had bad relationships. I have actually tried it with my own family.
Yeah.
Reach out, just be authentic with who you are. Say how it is. Reach out and give them the option to decide whether they want to rekindle. If they don't, they don't. But if you don't reach out, you'll never know. And I'm pretty sure that a lot of people would be quite surprised that some people do worry about you at Christmas, and people do want to help. And if you give them that sort of open that door for them, then good things can happen.
Come on. The devil's a liar. I'm a man of faith. And he wants to see you by yourself. He wants you to be lonely. He doesn't want somebody to cheer you up. He doesn't want you to feel nice. You know what I mean? And I think if you can pick up the phone like you said, and because you might be surprised. Oh, where have you been?
I know.
But you just don't know. Just be brave.
Do you know what?
Be brave, man. Be brave, man.
100%.
Be brave, man.
And talking about being brave, there's other options. This time of year, there's loads of shit going on.
Yeah.
There's loads of there's nativity plays.
Yeah.
There's Christmas parties going. There's lots of things. There's lots of things in the community market. Get out there. Get involved. Push yourself a little bit, because if you can't rekindle those old relationships, then you've got the opportunity to create new ones.
Beautiful.
This year you might be on your own,
ones,
but you put the effort in now. Next year
you'll be alright.
You'll be alright. Yeah.
Amen to that.
Yeah.
Amen to that, man. I think, you know, I wanted to really like hone in on this, because I was so really cut up about one person in our organization. Yeah, I was caught up by it, man, and it made me realize that, you know what, Christmas is not perfect or good for everybody. I'm so glad as well that I've realized it. I think it's made me actually cherish what I'm going to be going through this year. You know what I mean? But I also know there's also work behind it. You know what I mean? You know, me and my wife's relationship is not the best. No, it's good. I said that wrong. It's good, but that does not mean it can get better. That does not mean it can go stale. So I must always put the work in it, so that I have a family. Yeah. You know, I can spend Christmas and birthdays and whatever.
It's so hard, because like we're in our sort of personal day-to-day lives, we're at polar opposite ends. We're so similar on other things, but completely polar opposite ends. And I don't think I ever really appreciated those Christmases that I had with my family until I haven't got them.
It's interesting.
And when you have a family, and you've got a beautiful family, and when you've got that day to look forward to, and your kids running up to your bed getting excited about Christmas Day, my God, that's like something which I can only dream of. You know, it's like it's so powerful, and it's amazing how you can get to it. You're so worried about cooking the Christmas turkey and getting the presents and everything being alright, and you actually forget about the people that you're with that day and how much they mean to you. Because when you haven't got them.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
What have you learned then from the whole experience of having kids for Christmas and being by yourself and not having the kids? I don't want to put the person who might be the cause of it, because you have to look at yourself first.
Yeah, what?
But what do you think you've learned from it? For future.
That's a deep question, because
yeah, we're deep here, but come on, bare bones, see right into your heart, blood. Come on.
What have I learned from?
What have you learned from that? Yeah, man.
What I've learned is sometimes you can be looking so closely at yourself that all of your dreams, or all of your sadness, or all of that, you can be just concentrating on that so much that you forget that all the answers to your problems are right at the end of your nose. And this is what I've learned. So before I went inside, the solution to my life was right in front of me, and I had to go through all of this to realise that that's the solution of my life that I let slip away. It's
the children or the relationship.
All of it.
I love that. That's
the love.
Honest. That's honesty.
The love.
That's real honesty there, big man.
Because love this time of year it's more prevalent than any other, I think. And when you don't have that love, you notice it more. You know, it's and I'm sure it's the same for my children.
I love that. To be loved. Christmas is to be loved.
To be loved, yeah, and to give love.
You love somebody that much.
and to give
You
love.
love somebody that much. You love somebody that much. To love people that much. Wow.
But people don't realise how powerful love is until you don't have it, or you go through the trauma of losing it. And then when that trauma affects you to a point where it's very hard for you to be able to grasp that back, you realise how significant it is to your life, how much it fills you up, and how much you need it. And then when you damage it and it's not working, and then cogs aren't working, you all of a sudden you realise, fuck.
So true.
It's crazy. It's so hard that you have to be, you have to go through life, and you have to go through these things to understand that. And you can speak to a younger man about it, but the reality is, a lot of the times you have to go through this experience to actually learn from it.
Absolutely.
But the hardest lesson, it's a hard lesson to learn.
Absolutely.
Hard lesson.
Absolutely. I think it's how do I mean, what I'm learning at the minute, how do I let a 21-year-old who is in the same peculiar position know that love, not from me, but from your loved ones, you know what I mean, is the key to keeping that relationship. And even if that relationship is done, I reckon, or do you reckon, that because I'm coming with love, I can still conversate with you to make it civil, to make it cool, to make
What
it
with that person that you've
yes, that you used to have with, because I'm thinking, even if I didn't have no kids,
what?
know?
Yeah, do you know what I've come to learn? Some people are ready to communicate and ready to change, and some people aren't.
Some people aren't.
And you can't force them. Georgia keeps on saying something time and time again, which really sort of resonates with me. He kept on feeding the horse to water and, drowning it, and it still wouldn't drink.
Very true.
You can't force. You have to let the natural. You can fight against the current as much as you want. You're just going to tire yourself out. It's far easier just to go with it and hoping that the actions that you take throughout your life will make a difference, whether that's in your personal life or for those around you.
Very true.
But it's the belonging side, you see. We all belong to our own families, so we want that love from our own families.
Mm-hmm.
We all belong to our friendship group, so we want that love from our friendship group. We belong to lots of different aspects in our life, and they all give us something. But for me, family, this time of year, that is what you need. That's the belonging that you need.
Do you need family from the love, from close family, immediate family, or family? As long as it's family from people who love you, that could be friends. You know, that connection between us three now.
It's connected.
You know what I'm saying to you?
It is connected.
That could be a great Christmas.
But
you know what I mean?
100%. But for me, regardless who I'm connecting with or who I'm communicating with or belonging to, my focus will always be there in the background, that little devil, that little voice in my head saying, "Your children aren't here."
I love that. Thank you. I appreciate the honesty.
Yeah, and not just that, are they thinking about me? Do they want to see their daddy at Christmas?
I'm gonna ask you a question, Benji.
Mm-hmm. Ask away, brother.
Would you make a call?
To who? My children?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you?
Yeah, but if I did, then I'll be breaching court orders.
Beautiful. Love that.
I can't.
I appreciate that.
I can't. And I've been to court so many times that it's just I'll go around in circles. So I'm at a point now where I have to. I sit with this pain. I sit with it, and I recognise it. And at the hardest times, it's unbearable. And other times, I can let it pass.
Yeah.
But
that is the bits that people don't see. The bits, the politics, the red tape that happens. That doesn't, like that woman was saying, like, I can't because I have a dog. I'll give her the benefit of the doubt. Some places don't want you to have a dog, and a dog is her best friend because she's on the road, you know what I mean? Like you just mentioned, this, that, the other things. So so many red tapes. It's not like as if you ain't trying, but it's just ain't.
You can do your honourable best. That's all you can do. Do your honourable best.
Yeah.
Wake up each day and do everything you can. I cannot see my children this Christmas, but I can be the best person myself this Christmas, next month, and then at some point they will come and see me, and I will have a Christmas with them. And then what they'll see is the person.
Honourable best. A man who's his honourable best.
Yeah.
I think that's a big thing to say to a lot of people who are not doing the honourable best. And I think that's what I was trying to get at. But who am I? But I don't care. You know what I mean? You know, that's why I don't get it. I am so blessed, man. I'm so grateful. I have been a bad motherfucker, man. And I've still got my wife.
I shouldn't laugh, but I'm so happy with the man that you've become. Do you know what I mean? So I know who you were,
and I think for those other people out there who find it in situations like that, you know, and you got one of the mentor who you said is going to Birmingham now, you know, and I know the trauma. I can only imagine, but honourable best is such a big thing.
if everybody did that, the world would be a different place.
You know what I mean? Thank you for even the people who've got the yards. You
Do you know the
what I mean?
great thing is though, when you're around people all the time, when you're social, when your group, when you're the people that you belong to, your clan, your family, your community, when those people, they're the only people in your life, and they're all doing their honourable best.
Yeah.
The impact that it has on your life. As soon as you let people in, which are then causing drama and manipulating you and shaming you,
See
and
ya.
making you feel, it's like,
See ya. Can't stand them.
yeah. So
See ya. See you later. You don't want to be random, and that's where I think. Again, we were talking. That's why I think a lot of education, a lot of lived experienced people need to talk to these young men and women.
100%.
I'm telling you, a lot of lived experienced people need to talk to these young men and women to let them know that I didn't try my honourable best. I'll be straight with you.
Yeah.
I'm only knowing it now at 45.
Yeah.
Top G.
I know.
So imagine if somebody could show me what honourable best is, literally, so that by 26, if I was 21, because I don't think it'll happen overnight, but that's he could be super smart, you know, that by 26, I've got my life back in order.
Yeah.
I'm seeing my loved ones, or I've created a new relationship, which is what you talked about.
It's an amazing thing, mate. I don't know. Living, setting boundaries, having strict morals and ethics, understanding yourself, being authentic, being vulnerable. Do all of these things and have people around you that are doing all of these things, and your life will change.
Amen.
A lot of people, they put themselves around drug dealers, drug users, people that drink too much, people that have immoral actions, people that don't do their honourable best, and what happens with their life is it continues to get worse, and they're thinking, why is my life getting worse? You know, it's sort of, you know, it's put yourself around good people and do good things.
So let's finish then on a positive. What's good about Christmas then,
For me, what's good about mince pies? I love mince pies, man. I never used to like them till I went to prison, and all of a sudden they're like the best things since sliced bread.
We ain't got no choice but to eat that, innit?
No.
Oh, guess what? Tell us what Christmas dinner is all about.
Oh, in prison?
Oh, please, let's go there first, because it's all about. Finishing on a good note.
All right.
So let's tell us.
Christmas dinner. You
On a high
get
note,
a
even.
chicken leg.
Huh?
What, for me? Outside. I'm in prison.
Not in prison.
Oh yeah,
You got chicken leg?
yeah, left one. We got a left chicken leg.
I didn't get no chicken leg, blood. I got some dead slice.
You got you got some beef cutlet thing or something.
Oh,
yeah?
no,
Or some turkey
I got some
slice.
slice, blood. I can't stand that. I want a leg.
Generally, Christmas Day dinner, it depends on each prison, but Christmas Day, what you're thinking is a left chicken leg, because prisoners get the left chicken leg. Don't know why, but that's what happens. Apparently, the white one goes to hospitals or the armed forces.
We don't know why.
We don't know, but all I know is
Don't know
on the
why.
boxes it says not for human consumption. I do know that.
Oh, I've heard this one.
Yeah, I've seen the boxes. I've seen it. So the left chicken leg, you'll get a little.
That's not right. That means something's going on. Trying to poison us.
I don't know. Conspiracy. We're getting into conspiracy theories now.
Okay.
Right.
So,
Left chicken leg, a little bit of cabbage, a little bit of carrots, You'll get some roast potatoes, but you can't really call them roast potatoes. You'll get some gravy, but the gravy is the worst gravy you've ever had. It's either so thick it looks
so
like syrup, or water with lumps in it.
Yeah.
But the thing that really makes that
So custard.
Oh, let me get to that.
Okay.
What really distinguishes your Sunday lunch in prison from your Christmas dinner, the big thing that distinguishes
treacle.
No, man.
Go on.
It's the little, you get a sausage like that wrapped in bacon.
Oh my god. I mean,
that makes it a Christmas dinner.
Oh, is it? Pigs and blankets.
Pigs and blankets.
Yeah.
And you get some sort of pudding and custard, and you might get a mince pie or something, but let's be honest. And then a Christmas dinner.
It's not.
Oh, you get a little bit of stuff in there.
It's a Sunday dinner.
It's a Sunday dinner. But the worst Sunday dinner you could probably ever
I
ask for.
have never actually thought about it yet. It's a Sunday dinner.
Of course it is.
It's a Sunday dinner. And you know the one thing that used to piss me off, is the amount of food that they threw away. The kitchen.
I know.
The kitchen.
I know.
On Christmas Day, come on, just give us a whole heap.
With men going hungry.
You know what I mean? With men going hungry sometimes. No food for some people, man.
And what they'd be doing is they'd be sneaking in and grabbing loads of bread to take back to their cell, and all they'd do all night would be eat dry bread. Or put some vinegar on it, or some fucking whatever they can find just to make it.
Let's not go back too sad, but so that's what we got.
Christmas dinner.
What about the custard and that? Come on.
I've never touched it.
You never had custard and that?
Not once did I have eaten
mince pie and custard?
No, mince pie, yeah. I'm not having the custard because
oh wow,
I was really fussy about.
No, the custard was dead though, weren't it?
That
was dead, bro. Like watery plus a bit of thickness, all in the same bowl.
I got told a story about the guys making the coleslaw down there, and they came from House Block 4, which is the drug wing, and they had sclerosis all on their arms, and they're in there with the coleslaw.
They got changed.
So when it came,
was that around my time as well?
Yeah. Whenever it came to anything that was made and added to it, I didn't have it, so I just ate salad and chicken and whatever, tins of tuna and packet noodles, and I never used to eat really I avoid it as much as possible. And I've never seen anybody eat so much in prison as much as you. You was a monster.
Oh yeah, come on, bro. I need to eat, man. I need to eat.
I know.
I need to eat, and I'm grateful to the Cerberry lads as well, and yourself. You know, they gave me extras and that. You know what I'm saying to you? Because you gotta be somebody.
You gotta do what you're gonna do.
You gotta be somebody adding the extra food, bro.
So, you listen. Some people just ain't going hungry.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that.
You know what I'm saying?
It's as simple.
Bro.
You're in prison.
Come on, bro.
You ain't going hungry.
Come on, bro. You know what I mean, man. And it's vice versa. If I was on the other foot, so I think I worked you for a little bit. But if I was on the other foot, I think then you were suffering. You got whatever you want.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know, real recognize, real respect gets respect back, man.
But the thing is, I think you do the people that look after others and the people that are sort of doing a little bit extra. You want to do some good for them.
Absolutely.
And the ones that are really struggling, I really want to do some good.
So,
the ones in the middle, you'd have to sort
absolutely. You just get what you deserve. You know what I mean? Yeah, absolutely. What about? I mean, okay, then, for me then, what I'm looking forward to, because I have never been present on a Christmas.
What, on Christmas Day?
Yeah, present. I've never been as present as I am now.
Oh, I see what you mean.
As present as I am now on a Christmas Day. My life was so materialistic. My validation was me getting my kids opening the present, seeing how much it cost, but not actually looking at the smile. You know what I mean? Not the waking up, the effort that they did to wake up. You know what I'm saying?
The excitement, get involved with it.
Not exactly all of that, you know what I mean?
Dressing as Santa Claus.
I'm not gonna do that. But we are gonna all wear the same outfits, you know what I mean? And
onesies.
I don't know if it's onesies, but my wife's got something.
Awesome. I love that. I love that.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's Christmas.
I know what? I am so look, I love you to bits, but I've got to say what I'm going to say as well. I'm so excited because it's the first time that I've been present. The 4 years when I was on a downward spiral, she would say to me that I think I would be pissed, sniffed up, recovering from that. And you know, when you recover, I mean, I don't know if you know, you are not with it. You're just basically catching sleep. Do you know what I mean? Like, so I was not with it at all. And I think I did that for like maybe 2 years, and then I'm out probably that night or the night straight after. The rest of the years while I was hustling, it was just validation that look at how much money I spent.
Yeah.
So it's never been real. So I'm looking forward to just, you know, seeing the smiles on their face, sitting down, watching.
And that exciting.
movies.
And that
I
exciting.
can't believe it.
I know, it's exciting.
I do feel like a little boy, man. For real.
Honestly, that is
Yeah,
for
I do
me.
feel like a little boy, man.
That is for me.
Yeah.
That is my ultimate Christmas.
Yeah,
and so you have your ultimate Christmas.
Yeah,
Do you think you finding God is like how happy with Christmas Day and all that?
No, absolutely. I think me finding God has helped me to appreciate, like you said, it's about love. I genuinely love, like I said, my validation was buying things. That's all I thought they loved me. But now I sort of understand that there's more to life. There's more to me showing my kids as well, that daddy's more than just buying you a brand new stuff and things like that. And I've had to do that for the past 7 months since I've found God. You know what I mean? And also for me, and I appreciate you asking this question, Christmas presents. Now there's obviously the 3 wise men that gave. Okay, is that? But for me, Christmas is about really, really understanding that around this time, and it's not, we don't know whether it was in December, it could have been March, or, you know what I mean, a lot of things we can talk about conspiracy theories, what December the 25th really stands for, but they're not going to
A later date.
You know what I'm saying?
Maybe because I'm pagan, you're Christian, maybe we can do like some
you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Actually, it's more to do with pagans, that's what.
Of course it is.
You know what I'm saying?
Yule!
That's why I didn't want to go there. Because actually, yeah, for real, you know. But it's for the little man named Jesus being born around this time, who died for us, 33 years later on Easter. But it's about this little boy called Jesus. That's why, Christmas or this celebration is more about. And I try to tell my kids that as well. I mean, look. I told my daughter that I'm Santa at a very young age because they know Santa. Forget that. My wife was not happy that I did, but I'm not having Santa take the. I don't care what you guys think about. You know what I mean? My wife was not happy, but I told my daughter
the truth.
The truth. Yeah, that I'm Santa. I buy all the presents.
Yeah.
Ain't no Santa coming down no chimney. You know what I'm saying?
That poor kid.
You know?
That poor kid.
She was traumatized. She's still traumatized now about it. Oh my God, you know what I'm saying to you? But yeah, it's I'm looking forward to it, man. But I'm so blessed as well by having this empathy for those who haven't as well. And that's why I wanted to help, for that thing.
Yeah, I know.
But I didn't want to get in. I'm cool. I didn't want to get involved because, I felt people were involved anyway. You know what I'm saying to you?
I think what you did was really, amazing. What you've done.
Again, I appreciate, but it's not even that. It was understanding. That's what I mean. Listen, if I hadn't understood what and other people go through, I would have done it. And I probably would have done it thinking, oh, look at me. It's not about me, it's about them.
Yeah, exactly.
Donna paid for something. That's how the attitude I would have had before then. You know what I mean? But I really get it.
I sort of because I spent so much time over the last few years in prison, and I know what Christmas is and what this time of year is like. And I know this might be controversial for some people, so they say they don't deserve any, but I just feel sorry for a lot of the lads that are going through what I've had to go through, and I do, and my thoughts really, along with a lot of other people, my thoughts go out to them at the moment because
you know what, I am going to be very old school in the sense. Listen, remember I said to you before, if you can't do the crime, don't do the time. You know what I mean? But it's like that Rob said from Pathways. Yeah, the families, man. The families are going through it as well.
Yeah,
the families go through it.
And yes, they have done the crime and do the crime and all that sort of thing. But then there's also, for me, it's about empathy and compassion.
Yeah,
and understanding that.
I hear you.
a lot of these people aren't bad, they've made mistakes and they're suffering, and this is a time of year where they're really suffering.
Absolutely, so they should take more care in sort of like, you know, screws should not be like trying to make it even worse, because there's some horrible screws in there, you know what I mean?
Of course there is. Yeah.
You know? So, yeah.
But
Yeah, on that note then, mate, you know, Stewie, it's always a pleasure.
Always.
I'm telling you, Top G, man.
Always.
I knew you were going to link up anyway, bro.
Here we are.
My,
7-8 months later.
absolutely, my heart goes out to you. I love you. I pray for your kids that they find some sort of peace, you know, and peace when they think about you as well. You know what I mean? I do. And I pray that, you know, the journey that you are taking to be the man that you want to be, I love how you say that, that it comes to fruition. All right.
So, it sort of is, mate.
Oh,
I honestly feel it.
absolutely.
I feel it.
I hope so, and that's the you need
There's
to
always
say that.
always working on it.
I'm
The same
happy to
here,
hear
you
that.
know.
I'm happy to hear that, man. And 2025, let's bring it on.
I think 2025 is going to be a wicked year for us.
Amen. Bring it
You
on,
just
man.
know it, don't you?
Bring it on.
Yeah.
Bring it on. You know.
So yeah, Merry Christmas to
Merry
everybody.
Christmas.
Merry
John,
Christmas to you.
Peace and love.
Merry
Merry
Christmas to you, John.
And to use out there, this
Happy
is
Yule.
Ribcage Podcast. You know what I mean? Where we authentic, we say what we need to say, bare bony. And we're over and out. Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
See you
Sponsored by duct
2025.
tape today.
Royal Chili Spice.